Mixed Mornings.
Former director of Clovis's senior meals program has been sentenced to 7 years plus what she owes after being found guilty of embezzlement. 9th Judicial District Attorney Andrea Reeb announced that on January 29th, Teresa Perez, age 35 of Clovis, was sentenced to 7 years in prison for the crime of embezzlement over $20,000. Perez was the former director of Clovis's senior meals program and was arrested in February of 2019 after the board members reported over $24,000 in funds missing. An investigation showed that ATM transactions and checks had been issued to herself while altering books to show the checks were issued to businesses. In December of 2019, Perez entered a no-contest plea to the charges. The Honorable Matthew Chandler presided over the sentencing hearing and found that she is a habitual offender after the state produced documentation of 2 prior felony convictions. Chandler sentenced Perez to the maximum allowed by the plea agreement, 3 years on the embezzlement charge and 4 years as a habitual offender, and ordered that she pay back all the money. Deputy District Attorney Jake Bozeman prosecuted the case for the state, and criminal defense attorney Ty Harmon of Clovis represented Perez. The Roosevelt County Road Department will be working on South Roosevelt Road, or between the Floyd Highway to South Roosevelt Road AG, beginning today with weather permitting. This roadway is being enhanced to caliche from dirt as a part of a capital outlay fund. All residents are asked to drive slowly and watch for heavy equipment and personnel. The Ranchville Volunteer Fire Department has been awarded grant funding in the amount of approximately $28,000 from the New Mexico Fire Protection Grant. The statewide grant program funds various fire department projects throughout New Mexico. The grant funds will be used to establish a dedicated water supply for fighting operations in the form of a $3,000-gallon water storage tank. The storage tank will be installed at the new Ranchville Fire Station, which is currently under construction in the Ranchville community. Over 120 applications were submitted statewide, totaling over $23 million in needs, while $10.7 million were available for distribution. The Clovis City Commission will conduct a public hearing concerning the proposed liquor license action on Thursday, February 27th at 5:15 in the Clovis Carver Public Library. The Clovis City Commission will conduct a public hearing concerning the proposed liquor license action on Thursday, February 27th at 5:15 in the Clovis Carver Public Library. Curry County has installed 2 wildfire prevention billboards to remind drivers to check their vehicles when traveling through New Mexico for hazards that can start wildfires. Many fires are started each year by vehicles being driven with low or flat tires, dragging chains, and hot brakes and wheel bearings. These billboards were placed on Highway US 70 in Clovis and US 6084 in Melrose and will reach an estimated 72,000 drivers annually. The billboards were funded through a grant provided to Curry County through the Bureau of Land Management and New Mexico counties. The interior repairs to the YRB will not be completed in time to use the location for one of the voter convenience centers for the March 3rd Clovis election. The Clovis City petitioned the courts and received approval to move the VCC to the Clovis Aquatic Center, where the voting area will be in the exercise room in the building. Social Security scams in which callers allege a Social Security number or benefit problem and demand immediate payment to avoid arrest or other legal action are the number one type of fraud reported to the Federal Trade Commission and Social Security OIG. The Inspector General for the Social Security Administration is announcing 2 landmark civil complaints filed by the Department of Justice in the Eastern District of New York seeking injunctions against 5 telecommunication companies and their owners. If granted, the court order sought will prevent the 5 enjoined companies from continuing to facilitate the delivery of millions of fraudulent robocalls every day from foreign call centers to the U.S. telecommunications systems. With state government on the verge of increasing spending on government by nearly 20% with taxpayer money in 2 years, State Senator Jim White said it's time to slow government spending on itself. He said it's time to give taxpayers back some of their own money to the tune of nearly $60 million. Middle and low-income taxpayers earning up to $50,000 a year could receive a check for up to $100 and more, depending on the size of their family, $50 more for each dependent. A hazardous travel in parts of Curry and Roosevelt County has been issued for early this morning. Areas of dense freezing fog, light snow, and light freezing drizzle will make travel hazardous across central and eastern Curry and Roosevelt County until mid-morning. The visibility will drop nearly 1/4 mile at times in places like Clovis, Portales, Dora, and Millicent. The freezing fog and freezing drizzle may combine to produce a light glaze of ice on roads and especially bridges and overpasses. For more news as it happens, click yournewsnm.com.